So actually what's good too is that a lot of you guys asked about this. How do I stop somebody who I seem to not be able to condition? I feel like I'm hitting this person many times, but nothing I do is working. Right? Nothing I do is working. Let me use Mei. Mei is a great example. And earlier today we played a Mei that low-key had this energy. Low-key had this energy of it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, son. I'm pulling up. Half the reason I pick the characters that I pick is deadass because I literally don't think I'm good enough as a player to just select correctly all the time. Like 100%. Like the reason I play Gotenks, Roshi, Broly, a small reason why I play Milia, a small, big chunk of why I stuck with Lychee for so long, switched to Valkenheim, why I played Cammy in Street Fighter 4. Like, I personally as a player, I don't think I'm that good at that thing. So I pick characters that help me with this, because I realize it's something that I'm not that great at. When you play Milia, and you do this to Mei, fuck her. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you can't condition them. It really does not matter. When you have H-Disc on them, there's no conditioning. They just gotta hold that mix, bro. Similarly, like, Potemkin players, let's meet in the middle, bro. If I played Potemkin, I would love God of Impact. I'll keep it real. You're telling me a move that has no throw invincibility, so you can't fuzzy out of it. It's like unscaled if you hit the high-low. You get to do a command grab because there's no throw invo, like I said before. And if you do the poke, which is +4, you get another guess. Sick, love it. A move where my opponent can't interact. You love to see it, right? I'm with you guys. I'll meet you in the middle. If I played Potemkin, I would love that move. Let's be real. I would hate all the other guard crushes by my own. I'm just gonna keep that button. So that is a little bit of like my thing with characters. Like Dragon Ball, I played a lot of different types of characters. A lot of different type of characters, right? But in the end, I tend to settle around Okazeme team. In Season 2, I also played Team Gohan, GT Goku, SSJ Goku. So I pick characters that do that. Another thing you need to understand too, so let's not play Lady Milia. So let's say you play a mids dispenser like Giovanna. So to be fair about strike stroke characters, this is actually could be pretty hard to do when you feel like you can't straight up condition your opponent. Unfortunately, this is like what you signed up for. But there are some things you can think about. So one, you have to internalize, you can never stop someone. Oh, there's Fiona, by the way. You can never just straight up stop someone. So the main thing, and I actually apply this to Milia as far as neutral. The main thing you can do is aim for one thing and make that thing count. So what do I mean? So the nice thing about Geo is that she has plus moves. So like this is plus, for example. Also, if you do get one of these off, this is plus. But the main one you're going to get off the most is this, right? So why not try building a simple situation off this? Because this is plus, right? So you need to really pay attention to how your opponent picks in one spot, especially if you feel like you can't condition them. If you do this, right, and they block a couple of times, right, that should give you the info that like, hey, maybe I could pull up a little bit more aggressively. Like I can go for a throw, I could jump over them, I can push my turn, right? If you do this and the opponent mashes you, then you know you need to frame trap them and like add delay strings. If you feel like your opponent is jumping a lot, she does have this Gatling, right? Are you hitting them on the first hit, the second hit? You need to break down these situations a little bit. The thing that you gotta understand when you play a character like this especially is that like you don't always have ways to immediately hit the opponent. So you should be focusing on collecting data when you don't have resources to just get hit. So like this character, for example, she has like this stuff, right? She's got that, which is really good. She has other ways of opening you up too with meter. But when you don't have meter, you need to get data and target things while keeping yourself safe. Because depending on who you're playing against, like I have Mei here, but if this was Amelia and you pick wrong once and I match 2K, 2DH this, now you're in my win condition. So you gotta be really careful about that. You can also do this for neutral as well. So let's take S Dolphin. Everyone loves S Dolphin. Okay. So S Dolphin, when you block this, Mei is -5, so you can't really punish her, but she's gonna try to do like a bunch of follow-ups, right? So she might do this. She can do this also. Let's do a relatively simple one. A simple option set. So here's a time, again, even though it's not you attacking, where this comes from, you have to pay attention to what they're doing. Don't just think the opponent is random. Maybe if you're emotionally thinking like, oh my god, this guy's so fucking random. That's okay to be emotional for a second. But be objective about what's happening. Here, we're assuming our opponent is picking 3 things. Make it pick more. But so she has Dolphin, Dolphin. She has Dolphin, Backstab Dolphin. And then she has Dolphin Jump. So out of these, what do? We can use a safe check to see what she likes to do, right? Giovanna players, you can come up with your own confirmations. If she does backstep, if she does jump, okay. My 5P here is fast enough that I could probably do something. And then she backdashes. If she backdashes, I'm going to recover in time. Just like that. So after you see the situation happen a couple of times, then you could be like, alright, now I'm going to start getting greedy. Let's say the opponent specifically picks jump after, right? Like the man I played against before. So now we're going to start implementing dash block. Alright, relatively safe option, but not one I would pick by default. Usually, I'm only picking it because I notice that my opponent picks it more. You can even apply this to neutral as well. So I talked about attacking them, I talked about knockdown, I talked about defense a little bit. You can even apply this to neutrals. So, and for people who watch me play tournaments and matches all the time, you know how focused I am about this in neutral, right? One thing about this game, so if you're from Dragon Ball especially, when people do things like this, okay, in Dragon Ball, if your opponent is whiffing a normal on the ground, you're super dashing at them, for sure. If you haven't already done like a lariat type move or whatever, you're super dashing at them. It's really hard to whiff buttons on the ground unless you play specific characters, right? But in this game, we don't have that. So what do we do when characters like Nagoriyuki or Soul or Kai are whiffing these moves? We have to pay attention and see where they are and why do they do this, and whether or not should we even challenge in the first place. So in the case of Nagoriyuki, he has this special animation here. He has like a SSBM style interruptible as soon as kind of thing going on, where like he has extra animation. Like he's already done recovering, but he just has extra animation for whatever. Nagoriyuki players tend to do things like this or like this, you know. So with that in mind, when we know this is happening all the time. Now that we know this is happening all the time, we can go and be like, all right, what am I going to do when he whiffs this? So let's say he whiffs this. So Milia has a move that crushes lows. It's called S10 up top. So anytime I see a Nagoriyuki player whiff 2S and I'm close enough, I usually do S disc. There are other things you could do, of course. So like say this, right? Oh, whoops, hold on. I block, so no big deal. Okay. The nice thing about this too is like, let's say, what if he does like 6B or 2H in a match? As long as you're fast on this, because you have a lot of time. Understand, you have a lot of time because the character, your opponent's character, has to go through the beginning of the move, we call it the startup, to the active frames where the move is actually on the screen, to the recovery, and then they have to press another button and have to start up again of the next move. So you have a lot of time to do this. So if you can get something ready for these type of situations, then even if someone is like, you can go as far as call it flailing at worst, right? Even if someone's doing something like that, you can prepare in advance so that you can just kind of let them, you pick your spot. If you play a character with disjoints like Ram or something, for example, Ram would be an easy one. You don't have to think too hard about this. You just gotta be like, which disjoint am I going to use to cover this space? But if you don't have good pokes or you have bad buttons like Milia, you need this thought process because you can't always directly address what your opponent is doing. So it would really help if they whiff something like this, then you can make your choice. Like, do I want? Because this is not the only thing he could do, by the way. Like he could do like this, he could do this, he could do this. There's all you literally don't know what they're going to do. The only thing you know for sure is they're not going to just stop just because they whiff. Okay. Any questions? That was kind of a lot.